Hello, welcome back to LIVENODING. In this episode, I will show you an example. This was done using Blender 3.2 Alpha. So this kind of structure was made using a Fibonacci number pattern. So the number pattern is actually coming from SVerchok, and it goes into geometry nodes here. I will show you the nodes in a bit. So I started with this Fibonacci sequence number, and I made like 22 numbers. The number grows really high, really fast actually. So I just make like 22, and then I plug this into the line. So it's gonna be creating line objects. It's basically just storing the value inside the points and generating it to be used on geometry nodes. Okay, the number goes into this custom parameter. I just name it Fibo, and the domain is gonna be point, and the type is gonna be float. Okay, so this guy is the geometry nodes. Let's take a look. Let's erase this. I'm holding D and then right mouse button. You can actually draw anything if you hold D and then left mouse, hold D and right mouse to erase it. So this is the nodes inside geometry nodes, and there are, it seems complicated but not really. So the number coming in via the input, it's called Fibo. This goes, if we go look at the viewer node, this Fibo is coming in, okay, the parameter. And so what's going on here actually? So the number, this value coming in, so 1 1, and 1 plus 2 is 3, 2 plus 3 is 5. That's the Fibonacci sequence. And this number is being used by duplicate elements. Okay, this node is new in Blender 3.2 Alpha, so still work in progress. So the number coming in via the transfer attributes, float, set to index points. Okay, so it's coming in, goes inside the amount. So it's I also have this mesh line, the value of 20. I think it should be value of 22. I might be wrong. Yeah, okay, 22, and then it grows based on this amount. So the first one is like, it's 1 1, 1 plus 2, 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3. So this is the pattern that growing the instance. All right, so that's pretty clear. The next one is using the index to offset the duplicates. All right, so that's simple enough. And then I'm using cylinder that's been extruded as the instance, so it's like a kind of like colorful toilet paper or whatever that looks like this. And then I have rotations, I have realized instances, and okay, I think the one that's a little bit more interesting is gonna be the color. Okay, the color, I have 5 different color material, 5 different materials, and I'm assigning it using these 5 nodes, and the material index coming in. By default, I think 0 is actually just like the default material somehow. So if you want to have just the 5 color, you can add the, yeah, you use the index that started from 1. What's interesting, however, here you can see I'm using the index from the duplicate elements index. So as it is duplicating, it can use like a different color. I think that's a really quite important points, and how the index of the duplicates is, the data is actually using there's something from these nodes that you can use when you're duplicating an object. All right, so yeah, I think that's really pretty much what I want to show you. Just remember how we are generating a geometry here using line objects, and we are storing it on the points. If you start with the default cube, you might get a different result, but this goes inside the attributes from here, from SVerchok, goes into geometry nodes using this input parameter. You can actually using Python to generate the value and then store it into this custom attributes, or yeah, custom parameters, and just use it inside geometry nodes. So this is still something that you can change. So you can have like only 10 value here, 10 value here. So this is still Fibonacci. The number grows really fast. So yeah, I think this is should be enough for this example. So that's again, yeah, I'm using Blender 3.2 and we have duplicate elements, and we are using it here to create duplicates and Fibonacci pattern. You can replace this with anything. I mean, you can turn it into different object. I think you can make it hexagonal, for example. Maybe that's what you want. Looking kind of nice as well. And you can randomize the rotations a little bit if you want. I think I'm rotating it. I'm rolling this guy. Okay. Reverse instance, translate. Okay, if you want to randomize the translates a little bit. Okay, this should be behind. So you can translate slightly this cylinder so it's a little bit more random. The -1 and 1. Yeah, all sort of thing. I think the instancing in geometry nodes is very robust, quite robust. Sometimes it's a little bit low level, but still really quite powerful. Let's use EV. I don't think you can use the color. Oh yeah, you can use the color in EV as well. So that's kind of neat. So feel free to play around with this pattern. Yeah, hopefully you find it useful. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.